Welcome to the floor of G-Tronic. Just making a quick video just to show you what you're likely to find inside a gearbox which has never had its oil changed. This particular box came from a car, I think it was a 2006 or 2007 Mercedes, I think it was a C-Class. Basic mileage was about 115,000. Had a limp mode problem, so it wasn't driving at all, or it was just running in second gear, just basically wasn't working at all. So this was sent in to be rebuilt. So what we've done here, we've taken the sump off, we've had a look inside. This is kind of what you see here, which is quite a thick black deposit all over the bottom of the sump. This is the magnet, which is magnetic and sits in the bottom of the sump. All over this magnet, this is pretty thick here, there's about 3 to 4 mil worth of gunge. This grey material is friction clutches, so it's the internals of the gearbox, which is sitting and held in the sump. But this also does run around within the gearbox. It should be a sort of cherry red colour, it is when it's new. Should be much thinner than that. So basically that's what builds up over all those years. So there's this thick layer here. Obviously we're going to clean this out completely back to clean metal and stick a new magnet in there as well. But you can see there, I mean, that's just like a real thick furry layer of metal deposits in there. There's also some brass pieces of bushing in there as well, just like a fine sprinkling of brass pieces within the bottom of the sump. So that's the main reason to change your gearbox oil to your new ATF oil, Mercedes oil. This is the conductor plate which sits on top of that or underneath of the gearbox main parts here. One of the problems I think that this wasn't working is these are the speed sensors here. You have your N1 and N2 speed sensors which read the speed of the gearbox and the road speed or engine speed. This is pretty furred up with the same deposits, so it's magnetic deposits, so it's basically metal, and this has somehow got to read what speed this gearbox is doing. So if obviously it's covered in extra metal, it's not going to read it too well. It's not actually broken through, which is sometimes what we see where they're completely worn out, where it's been touching the gears inside the gearbox, so it can't read the speeds correctly. But that same nasty oil, which again is built up over all those years, is just running around within the valve body, clogging up filters, clogging up solenoids. This is some of the solenoids in here, quite small orifices in the top of them and in the bottom. Obviously, if that's restricted in any way or the oil can't move through as fast, you're going to get sluggish changes. So again, that's one reason why we recommend a new lease of life oil change, because that's basically what you'll get. The car will change much quicker. You won't get the fault codes coming up, because obviously we clear those, especially if we do a conductor plate change, which is this body here, this plastic circuit board. All of that's changed as well. But the main thing is change the oil and you have a much longer period with your lovely Mercedes. So don't write your Mercedes off, get the oil changed. Anything over 80,000 miles, start changing the oil, call G-Tronic. Bye bye.